let's talk about Eugene O'Neill. We're talking about a titan of American theater, a Nobel laureate, and at the very heart of his work is this one play, Long Day's Journey into Night, a masterpiece he never, ever wanted anyone to see. It's his most famous play, but for decades, it was also his biggest secret.
And that question right there is the central mystery we're diving into today. I mean, think about it. You write what many people call the greatest American play ever, and then you lock it away. You leave these super strict instructions that it can't be touched until a quarter century after you're gone. Why? What was in this play that was so personal, so explosive, that he tried to take it to the grave with him? Okay, so to solve this mystery, we have to start with the play itself. We need to get a handle on what O'Neill created that was so powerful and apparently so painful that he felt he had to hide it from the entire world. And look, this wasn't just some casual wish. This was a command. He had the manuscript legally sealed and locked up in 1945. That's a pretty clear sign of just how uncomfortable he was. Whatever he'd put down on paper was so raw, so revealing. He just couldn't stand the thought of it being seen while he was alive.
So what's this play even about? Well, on the surface, it's pretty simple. We spend one single, long, emotionally brutal day with a family, the Tyrones. But in that one day, an entire lifetime of pain, of resentment, of broken dreams, it all comes crashing down on them.
And the way he sets it up is just brilliantly claustrophobic. He traps the whole story in one house, over one single day, from morning till midnight. It just intensifies everything. There is absolutely no escape for these characters, not from the house, and definitely not from each other or their own past. You feel like the past is a ghost, a living, breathing thing right there in the room with them. At the center of all this tragedy are the four haunted Tyrones, as he called them. So let's meet the family, just as their lives are about to completely unravel. Each of them is trapped in their own personal hell. You've got James, the father, who's a penny pincher, haunted by the fact that he squandered his acting talent for an easy paycheck. His wife, Mary, is lost in a morphine-induced haze, just trying to escape her painful reality. Then there's the older son, Jamie, who drowns his self-hatred in booze, and the younger son, Edmund, who is facing a terrifying TB diagnosis. It is a perfect storm of dysfunction. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. The reason this play feels so raw, so real, is because O'Neill wasn't just making these characters up. No, he was summoning ghosts from his own life. Because the devastating secret of Long Day's Journey into Night is that it's not really fiction at all. It's a thinly veiled, brutally honest autobiography of O'Neill's own family. Just take a look at this. The parallels are absolutely shocking. James Tyrone, the stingy actor, that's his father, James O'Neill. Mary Tyrone, the mother addicted to morphine after a difficult birth, that's his mother, Ella. The alcoholic, cynical older brother, Jamie, a direct portrait of O'Neill's own brother. And Edmund, the sensitive, sick, young poet, well, that's Eugene O'Neill himself. He literally put his entire family and himself on stage for the world to see. So O'Neill didn't just borrow a few details from his life. No, he took the most traumatic, most pivotal year of his entire existence and made it the foundation for his greatest work of art. So why 1912? Why that specific year? Well, because for O'Neill, 1912 was the year it all came to a head. It's the year he got diagnosed with tuberculosis. It's the year he had to confront the true depth of his mother's addiction. It was the year he hit rock bottom. And it was the year he decided that he was either going to be a writer or he was going to be nothing at all. 1912 was the fire that forged him.
But this is so important to understand. The play wasn't revenge. He wasn't trying to tear his family down. He was actually trying to understand them. He was digging through all the pain and addiction to find the complicated love that was buried underneath. He was searching for empathy in the wreckage.
So let's circle back to that original mystery. Why write this unbelievable masterpiece and then immediately lock it away? Well, the answer comes from O'Neill's own words about why he wrote it in the first place. This timeline shows you the drama that happened offstage. O'Neill finishes the play in 1941, completely drained, and he hides it. He dies in 1953, thinking his secret is safe. But then, just 3 years later, his widow, Carlotta, makes this hugely controversial choice to go against his will and release it. She believed it was his greatest work and that the world had to see it. And you know, the biggest clue to O'Neill's real motivation is right here. It's on the dedication page of the manuscript he gave to his wife, Carlotta. He calls it a play of old sorrow, and even says it's a pretty sadly inappropriate gift for a wedding anniversary. But then he says she will understand. And here it is. This is the answer. He wrote that his wife's love gave him the strength to face my dead at last, and to write the play not with anger, but with deep pity and understanding and forgiveness for all the 4 haunted Tyrones. That was the goal all along, forgiveness. So it all comes down to this. He didn't hide the play because it was bad. He hid it because it was too true. It was never meant for an audience. It was a private confession, a personal exorcism of his family's ghosts and his own pain. He called it a work written in tears and blood. And for him, the act of writing it was the point, not the applause.
O'Neill's play gives us the emotional truth of his family in a way that no history book ever could. And it kind of leaves you wondering, if a play can be a confession, what truths about the human heart can art show us that facts and figures never will?